We all know Peter and the guys get into some seriously questionable situations, but when their wives decide to act up, things cross the line into completely sus territory.
Well, I didn't expect those results at all.
Do it, Mom. It's just you and John Cena's rippling shouldery neck area. Now's the time.
In this video, we are breaking down more of the most sus wives moments in Family Guy. Let's start the show. Starting off with Season 23, Episode 16, Cool Hand Lois. What happens when Lois discovers a brand new personal hobby that completely takes over her life and threatens to destroy her marriage? In Season 23's Cool Hand Lois, things go completely off the rails when Lois abandons her entire family to start a highly unexpected romantic relationship with her best friend and neighbor. The wildly sus storyline kicks off at a high school fundraising auction, where Lois is desperately trying to win a romantic vacation for two. She ends up getting into a bidding war, ultimately dropping $500 to win the trip after beating out a woman that Principal Shepard hilariously refers to as Sydney Sweeney's twin sister.
Can't believe I actually won! I have not felt a rush like this since I had exact change at the grocery store.
Lois is thrilled about securing the getaway, but Peter is absolutely not interested. When Lois asks what weekend they should go to the bed and breakfast, Peter flat out refuses, practically flushing their auction money right down the toilet.
I spend every day taking care of other people in this house, and just once, I want to feel taken care of.
Looking for a new way to find some happiness and satisfaction, Lois discovers the joys of self-pleasure for the very first time.
Jimmy Connors.
Jimmy Connors.
She becomes so entirely consumed by her new personal discoveries that it takes over her life, leading her to go out and pick up all sorts of new doohickeys and personal devices for herself. During one of her shopping trips to the adult toy store, she ends up running into her best friend, Bonnie.
Bonnie? What are you doing here? Well, I never expected to see you at this little hole in the wall with all the little holes in the wall.
Bonnie casually admits she has been coming to the store for years, and the two quickly realize they share a lot of common interests.
You know, you look really great, by the way. Ha! Listen to me. I think that was my first genuine compliment to another woman.
When it comes to feeling satisfied, the dots finally connect, and Lois brings the absolute most boundary-crossing news back to the Griffin house. She is officially dating Bonnie. The massive announcement literally makes Brian's head explode and causes Chris to shoot off like a rocket.
You heard?
Yeah, I heard.
This leaves Peter and Joe in an incredibly weird predicament, pointing fingers and blaming each other for failing to please their wives in the bedroom.
This is humiliating. Being a
Completely unbothered by her husband's complaints, Lois packs her bags to take her romantic couple's vacation with Bonnie instead. Peter attempts to forbid her from leaving, but Lois insists she is going on the trip unless he actively wants to stop his wife from living her truth.
She's right, because this is exactly where I stopped listening last time and started thinking about Wolverine.
Realizing they need to step up and fight for their marriages, Peter and Joe actively crash the getaway and track their wives down at a romantic dinner. However, as the guys spy on them, they make a startling and somewhat depressing realization. Lois and Bonnie actually look incredibly happy together, happier than Lois has looked with Peter in years.
Are you ready?
Sure, let's roll the dice.
Next up is Season 21, Episode 3, A Wife-Changing Experience. When it comes to boosting her own ego, there is absolutely no line Lois Griffin won't cross, even if it means putting on a highly suggestive show for her disabled neighbor. In this episode, Lois discovers she has a very unexpected physical effect on Joe Swanson, leading her down a wildly uncomfortable, vanity-fueled path that ends in legal trouble. The highly sus storyline kicks off at the Pewterschmidt mansion, where Peter and Lois's anniversary is being honored by the family. As a grand gesture, Carter presents the couple with a brand new car, which prompts a thrilled Lois to head to the bathroom to change her clothes.
Good work today, Mom Bathing Suit. See ya on Labor Day.
However, an unsuspecting Joe accidentally wheels his way right into the bathroom and catches an absolute eyeful of Lois. If that wasn't awkward enough, The shocking incident actually results in Joe's generals standing at attention. Completely flustered, Joe quickly apologizes and wheels away, leaving Lois stunned by the realization that his equipment actually still works. The situation reaches a new level of weirdness the very next day, when Bonnie eagerly pulls Lois aside to brag about the incredibly fun, romantic night.
I can't even count all the different positions Joe let me carefully arrange his limp body into.
She and Joe just shared. Bonnie gratefully reveals that for the first time in 9 long years, Joe was actually able to fully achieve his manhood. Hearing this, Lois instantly puts 2 and 2 together, realizing that Joe was only able to perform in the bedroom because he was thinking about seeing her without her clothes on.
Chris?
I've been caught, but I'll never be sorry.
Boy, I went hard at my fat guy's wrestling club today.
Instead of feeling entirely weirded out by this boundary-crossing dynamic, Lois lets her massive ego take the wheel. When she later catches Joe secretly spying on her from his window while she is cleaning dog poop off her shoes, she actively decides to lean into it and put on a sultry, exhibitionist show for him. She genuinely believes she can make scraping dog poop look sexy, and surprisingly, it actually works to get Joe's engines completely revving without him even needing to use his pump.
Hey, Bon, you busy?
Should I get the pump?
No need. Let's do this.
Feeling highly desirable, Lois tries to bring this newly confident energy to Peter in their own bedroom, but Peter completely shuts her down, bluntly asking if she is drunk.
Hey, while you're in there, will you sign Meg's permission slip for the historic Slater Mill? I left it at the foot of the toilet between my shoes.
Denied by her own husband, Lois continues her very obvious exhibitionist moves for Joe right out in the front yard. However, her performance is eventually spotted by Quagmire, who becomes weirdly offended by her antics, despite being the neighborhood's resident peeping Tom.
God, she's putting on some kind of weird show for Joe. This is a betrayal. Peter deserves to know.
Quagmire immediately snitches to Peter, who angrily confronts Lois for flaunting herself in front of the whole neighborhood just to boost her own ego. Lois completely writes Peter's complaints off, wildly claiming that what she is doing is actually a great public service for Joe and Bonnie's marriage.
That's not what you're doing. You're flaunting yourself in front of the whole neighborhood just to boost your own ego.
Taking things to the absolute extreme, Lois brings her show right up to Joe's front door, strutting over in high heels in the middle of a Tuesday. Thankfully, Joe draws a firm line, stating he can't do this to his friend Peter, though he graciously thanks Lois for her service.
I understand. Bye, Joe.
Say, Lois.
Yes?
Unfazed and completely desperate for extra male attention, a totally unhinged Lois decides that if she could do it for Joe, she can take her talents to a whole hospital wing of disabled veterans. This wildly inappropriate and predatory plan finally forces the police to step in, and Lois ends up getting arrested and thrown in the back of a squad car, all because she desperately needed an ego boost.
Peter, what are you doing here?
I smushed my thing up against the glass of a Lululemon.
Next up is Season 8, Episode 13, Go Stewie Go. What happens when a teenage girl finally finds a normal, handsome boyfriend? Her own mother decides to cross the ultimate boundary and steal him for herself. In Season 8, Episode 13, Go Stewie Go, Peter's thoughtless insults push Lois to seek validation from the absolute most inappropriate source possible, Meg's new teenage boyfriend. The wildly uncomfortable storyline kicks off with Peter being an absolute jerk about a single gray hair Lois has found. He tells her he doesn't mind that she's aging, he just hates the way she's shoving it down his throat.
Screw you, Peter.
Not today. Wow!
The topic shifts when Meg drops a massive bombshell on the family. She wants to invite her new boyfriend over for dinner. The family is incredibly skeptical.
Well, Meg, if you're telling us the truth, I just hope to God he's an improvement over the last one.
Come on, I'll take you home.
Okay, babe.
But to everyone's absolute shock, Meg's boyfriend Anthony is completely normal, charming, and handsome. Anthony easily wins the family over, but he specifically catches Lois's attention when he sweetly tells her she is pretty enough to be a movie star.
Oh my goodness, well, I don't know about that. Penelope Ann Miller, Nancy Travis, now those are movie stars.
Unfortunately, Peter instantly ruins the compliment with a grossly descriptive comment about Lois's aging body, comparing her to sagging pressed hams and a slice of pizza.
Anyway, good night, kids.
Good night, Mom. Good night, Dad.
On the lips.
Yes.
Later, while Meg and Anthony are busy making out on the couch, Lois creepily watches them from the top of the stairs, imagining that the teenager probably tastes like Mountain Dew and Starburst.
Oh my God, that's kind of hot. I bet you taste like Mountain Dew and Starburst.
Seeking some guidance, Lois confides in Bonnie about her highly inappropriate attraction. However, instead of talking some sense into her friend, Bonnie actually encourages Lois to act on it.
The point is, it's healthy to explore your sexuality.
Oh, I don't know. It just feels like I'm lying to Peter.
Taking this terrible advice to heart, Lois devises a scheme to get Meg out of the house by lying and telling her that she needs to go pick up Carter from the airport. Anthony offers to go with Meg, but Lois insists she'll keep him company until Meg gets back.
Don't be ridiculous. I'll keep him company till you get back. Goodbye, Meg.
Left completely alone with the teenager, Lois wastes absolutely zero time. She asks Anthony if her gray hairs bother him, and the second he charmingly replies, "What gray hairs?" she immediately commands him to kiss her. But Lois makes a massive rookie mistake by not locking the front door. Meg suddenly walks back inside because she forgot her keys and catches her mother locking lips with her boyfriend. Lois tries to give a terrible apology by claiming she never meant to steal him, but Meg refuses to be intimidated. Meg completely tears into her mother, telling Lois that she's old, she's nothing, and she couldn't even imagine the weird things she and Anthony do in the bedroom.
You really think you stand a chance? Look at you. You're old. You're nothing. You couldn't even imagine the things I do for him.
Following the brutal confrontation, Lois tries to deflect personal accountability by blaming Peter, crying that he made her feel so deeply unattractive that she was driven to do something completely disgusting. Peter comes clean, admitting he only insulted her appearance because he was terrified she would realize she was too good for him and leave. The toxic couple makes up, and we seemingly never see poor Anthony ever again.
I love you.
Why?
Maybe I like fat guys.
Next up is Season 10, Episode 23, Internal Affairs. When a marriage hits a rough patch, most people try counseling or maybe a nice date night. But Bonnie Swanson decides to cross a massive family-destroying boundary by fleeing the country to secretly hook up with a total stranger. In one of the most wildly sus wives moments in the show, Bonnie nearly abandons her disabled husband and newborn baby for a Parisian fling. The highly uncomfortable storyline kicks off when Lois and Bonnie take a girls' trip to vacation in Paris together.
Okay, bye everyone. Kids, you mind your father while I'm gone. Love you.
Bye, Mom.
Bye!
Supposedly looking to do all the normal touristy things Parisians do. However, Bonnie quickly drops a massive bombshell on Lois. She explicitly came on this trip to have a romantic fling with absolutely anyone. Lois is completely shocked.
My God. Well, can we at least do some Muppet-style sightseeing first?
Unable to believe that her friend would just throw away all those years of marriage to Joe just to have some silly overseas encounter. Lois actively tries to be a good friend and pulls Bonnie away before she can get highly intimate with a walking French stereotype, firmly reminding her that she has a husband and a little girl waiting for her back home. But Bonnie is a woman on a boundary-crossing mission.
You're playing with fire. Look, no marriage is perfect, but Joe's the man you gave your life to. And besides, you have a little girl.
Later on, Lois gets back from a shopping trip only to find a very obvious "do not disturb" signal tied to the hotel room's doorknob. Bonnie casually admits that she simply needed a change from Joe and has been enjoying her time with a local French guy named Francois. The situation escalates from a brief vacation romance to full-on family abandonment when Francois pops a massive question. He asks Bonnie to stay in Paris with him permanently and leave Joe at home with the baby.
I've so enjoyed your intimacy these past few days. Will you stay here with me?
Here? In Paris?
Instead of immediately shutting this down, Bonnie actually considers throwing her entire life away. On their very last day in Paris, Bonnie pulls Lois aside and admits that she has thought a lot about it, and she is officially staying.
Oh my God, you're not gonna do it, are you?
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
Realizing that her friend is making the biggest mistake of her life, Lois decides to completely break girl code and forces Bonnie to face the reality of her decision head-on by secretly flying Joe all the way out to Paris.
Joe, what are you doing here?
Joe pours his heart out, pleading with Bonnie to come home. When Francois tries to win her back by claiming he would do anything for her, Joe decides to prove his love by attempting the absolute impossible. Harnessing the power of true love, and maybe a little dark magic, Joe musters up all his energy and miraculously stands on his own 2 feet and walks.
Joe, I don't believe it. You're walking.
I am!
Completely stunned by this unexplainable miracle, Bonnie passionately kisses Joe, and the two find the strength to save their marriage and head home together.
Let's go home, Joe.